Close Enough, the next series from the creator of Regular Show, was announced 4 months after Regular Show ended back in 2017. Now, fans had to wait a while for this all-new animated series, and honestly, it was well worth the wait. Close Enough is finally here, streaming on HBO Max, and here to talk about it is show creator J.G. Quintel. How are you, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Of course, I'm glad you're here. So, how would you describe the premise behind Close Enough?
Close Enough was this idea of like, I want to try something where I could like do these types of stories that have to do with family and like having a kid and transitioning, like once you get into your 30s, what it's like to become more responsible and yet still want to do all those things that you did in your 20s. So that was the basis for it.
Watching Close Enough, you got like two 30-somethings, taking care of their child while living with a divorced couple. And I know people like that, So how much? Yeah. So how much of the absurd situations that we see is kind of like steeped in your personal life and in your reality?
Story-wise, like the grounded elements of the stories, like a lot of those are things that I relate to or that like the writers relate to, things that we've gone through. So like in one of the first episodes, Logan's Run, at the beginning when they are saying goodbye to Candace and they realize like, oh, this is her first sleepover that she's going on, and we it's so sad, and then they're like super pumped about it once she's out of earshot, and it's like, we haven't had a day to ourselves in like 5 years. What are we going to do with it? And you think they're going to do something really cool, and then they decide to do errands, and it's like, my wife and I totally do that when we finally get some time to ourselves. We're like, let's go hit up some errands where we can just do it and no one's going to drag us down and bother us.
Now, what kinds of things in this particular series in Close Enough were you able to kind of explore that you maybe weren't necessarily able to in regular show, like because of, maybe due to like the restrictions that you typically face, working on a children's cartoon as opposed to like an adult themed cartoon?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, being able to work on something that's got a higher rating, we can do a lot of the things that we were never allowed to do. We still have limitations, which is great. I think it's important to
Mm-hmm.
have those because then you have to come up with clever ways to get the jokes across. Um, but then just from like a story standpoint, I feel like there are so many stories that we never could have done on regular show that have to do with being married and like the types of things you do with your partner, or even having kids, the types of things you do when you're a parent. So this show can deal with all of those types of things.
I'm kind of curious. Maybe I just missed it. Are there any sort of like regular show Easter eggs that fans might appreciate in Close Enough?
The apartment that they live in Close Enough is based off of the apartment that I lived in when I first got out of college. It was this apartment in Los Feliz, and the kitchen had wallpaper like that. It didn't look exactly like that. We tweaked the design of the wallpaper, and if you really look close, it's like abstracted versions of the regular show characters. There's a really funny one that I saw someone found it on the internet, so I know someone has found it, but like there's one in Skate Dad. This is like my favorite one where when they go to the skate shop and Candace goes to pick a board and she's like, that one. And it cuts in on this really demonic looking board and it like sounds really creepy.
Oh my God, Josh.
If you play that backwards, it says buy regular show DVDs.
Buy regular show DVDs.
That's awesome.
So we got like tons of stuff hidden throughout.
Oh man, how did I? So I mean, like, so you're just hoping that there's eagle-eyed viewers, right? Is there a comprehensive list somewhere online? Because I miss all of these things. I mean, like, I want to know all of them. What am I gonna have to do in order to find this?
There's one in Dog Boy, like in that like post little montage where it's like hitting posts after they throw the cell phone and like you just see like a blue jay on a post, right? But it's like that's like a subtle Mordecai one. And like I didn't want it to be like straight up like the characters walking in like they exist in the same universe, but more like it's of the same DNA. And so it's all like subtly like in there. You'll see little hidden things that maybe you catch it, maybe you don't, but I don't know the exact list because so many people work on the show that I know people are hiding stuff in there without telling me. So stuff might even slip by me.
Now, I saw one of my favorite musicians on your show, and I'm not talking about Post Malone. I'm talking about Weird Al. I'm kind
Yeah.
of curious. Can you please describe what it was like working with Weird Al? I mean, he's a legend amongst music parodies, and if anyone that knows me, I make music parodies all the time. So I'm kind of curious, what was it like working with him?
Well, we weren't sure that we were going to get him, so pretty sure Sean Zellis drew the character of Weird Al, so we'd show him what he was going to look like since he was going to be playing himself. And he wanted to see the script. He wanted to know, well, what am I doing? And I didn't know if he was going to say yes. I mean, in the episode, he gets mauled by a bear, but like he read it and he thought it was funny, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." So he came in and he was just super cool, really funny. He like nailed the takes like right away. He was just a really great guy.
I'm so glad you guys got him. I'm also I also wish, though, I know this is probably shooting for what the moon. I know you reach for the star, shoot for the moon, whatever that saying is. I was hoping you guys were going to get him to do a song, a parody song or something. I was so hoping, because I mean like you guys had some parody songs in that particular episode, and so I was kind of hoping that he was gonna like there was gonna be like a, I don't know, some sort of musical number. But I guess the fact that you got him is,
like the fact that we got him is great, but like he could always, like, if we ever get to do more, maybe we bring back the Weird Al ghost, because he was still around at the end of the episode.
And speaking of doing more, one of my final questions for you is what is the likelihood of a second season of Close Enough?
I mean, I hope we get to do more because it was really fun to make them, even though it took so long. I mean, it's just been out for almost a week now. So I don't know how long the network wants to check it out. Now that it streams, I guess they can tell exactly how many people are watching it. So hopefully the number is right and they ask us to do some more.
Well, I'm hoping they do, because like honestly, I've been telling all my friends about it. Like all my friends that were huge fans of regular show, I told about the show. And you want to know who else I also told, JG? Do you want to know?
Who?
My mom. Yeah, did you see that coming?
I did, but I wanted to let you do it. I didn't want to steal it from you.
Thank you for the setup, JG Quintel. Thank you so much for joining us, man. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Now, I know what you guys are thinking. That impression wasn't that good, but hopefully it was close enough. See what I did there? Yeah, that's right. Close Enough is currently streaming on HBO Max. Stick around. Plenty more ahead as IGN's coverage of Comic-Con at home continues.